are now in the presence of a king.
Well, welcome back to the first show of the year. All right, so we're missing some Blerds. We've added a new one. So I thought I'd start the first of the year off by injecting us with some new blood. We've got Admiral Xena joining us, and we have Prince Darkstar joining us. We have the Great Gatsby, but he's somewhere out there. I don't know where he's at. He's out there somewhere. And of course, you know the bishop. I believe he's still having some technical difficulties over there. Look at him. But we're back. We're the Blerds, the Cosmic Portal Blerds. So let me just start off by allowing you guys to tell everyone a little bit about yourselves. And remember, uh, this is a this is not a family show, but by no means is this Eddie Murphy's Raw. Okay.
So you trying to say I can't say nigga this and nigga that?
No, sir. Look, no. Okay, no. I don't want you.
My
Look,
apologies.
We're not 18 sitting there with our malt liquor. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? I got mine rum and coke.
Look, your St. Ives. You see?
Oh, come on
Mad
now.
Dog 2020.
What do you mean they ain't got no Schlitz malt liquor?
Oh my god, but y'all making my stomach hurt, bro.
You know what I mean? So let's start off with the couple of the group. Okay. My right hand aboard the USS Victory. She's going with the moniker Admiral Xena, and of course you guys know Marky Mark from the DC Reviewer, as well as the new co-host with Capes and Cases, the correspondent. So, you two, introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Marky Mark. I do DC reviews when there's new movies coming out. I do a lot of interviews when we go on to cons, and I also am the general manager of the Cosmic Portal. And beside me, I have my wife, Admiral Xena. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I am part of a three-parter with two other ladies. We are the matriarchs of Phantom, and we do podcasts on fandom stuff just from a woman's point of view.
Yep.
And we do the movie.
Oh, yes. We do movie reviews when we go see Mark and Bond at the movies.
Yes.
Very good, very good. So, look, this young man has been waiting to debut here with us. So, Prince, go ahead, man. Hit it off.
All right, guys. First of all, it's nice to meet all y'all. Thank you for having me here. I am Prince Pollard, the Dark Star himself, and I am really trying to get into this. And this is my first podcast ever, so I'm honored to be here. I am the ultimate nerd. You know what I mean? I am I'm into DC, Marvel, movie reviews. I have a little bit of a small internet presence, but it's not a big one. But this is what I really wanted to do. As you can see behind me, I am a action figure collector, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. So I'm just here to have fun. You know what I mean? I don't want to have no disrespect to no one. I love a good debate as long as we keep it adult and professional. And if you guys hear me something and I need to be corrected in any way, please let me know, because I believe knowledge is power, and I love comic book knowledge. So hopefully we can all just get in here and just share our nerddom together. And it's really nice to meet you guys, and thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Look at that. Look at that. Well, that brings me to the person who I should say would bring me much joy, but his ass is lazy. Lazy. With all due respect, this man and I have started. We started the TV's rant together. I had a co-host that was not doing it. I was trying to get him from the start. We started this back in 2009. We were on internet radio. We went from the rant to the cosmic portal, and this is where it all came back from. So Bishop and I have been doing this back and forth, and then he disappears for God knows how long, and then I bring him back. Then he disappears, then he comes back. So Bishop,
I'm like Don Corleone. Look, I try to get out. You just keep trying to bring me back.
well, I can't look. It's hard, you know. When you have that thing, because you and I, when we do our debates, they could go on for hours. When we talk about something, it's great. I got the voice of reason, and then we have Zena, who will be like, "Look, you're talking too long. Break it up. Can we move on to the next thing?" So I like keeping her. She keeps us in check. So and to have
that's what a good
yeah.
black woman is for.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When we have that female, okay, like that droopy cartoon. Break it up, huh? It's going on too long. Break it up, y'all. So, Bishop, tell us what you've been doing, what you've been up to, and what you plan on doing.
Well, look, I'm taking back the Blerds over.
Okay.
So I'm not going to get too political with it, but at the same time, it will be black. So, I
didn't think we not black. What?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
It's in the title. It's Blerds.
Listen. I'm saying when I say that, sometimes some of these topics get under my skin, and I have to get real black on it. And some people ain't ready for the truth.
Oh,
So, some people may say, well, you are homophobic, you're transphobic, or you this, you're that. All right, I be that.
Look, I say that about you all the time when we have these little things, because
I know,
because we hear it so much when
we hear it all the time. But
with
you know what
fandom.
though? Look what the state of fandom is. It put men on the back shelf. It died. Now it's trying to get men back, and look what's happening. But anyway,
the experiment has failed.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And look, the fans have been telling them since they came out and said we're going in a female direction. With comic books, Star Wars, Star Trek, you going female? Oh, all right. We'll see how that works out for you. But anyway, just like I said,
Bishop, I like you already, Bishop.
Right. Look, I'm Bishop. I was co-host of the Cosmic Portal when we was on internet radio. Me and Calibus have known each other probably going on maybe like close to 40 years. And look, I knew him when he was Carl.
I don't know this name that you speak of. I'm like the Highlander. I come over the ridge and I have a new name. When I get rid of it, I make another persona, keep on going.
Look, I know his government name.
Right? Oh, the government name. Okay, there you go.
But no, fan of DC, fan of Marvel, fan of Star Wars, fan of Star Trek, fan of fandom. Just not the state that it's in right now. But we'll talk more about this. We'll as fans tune in, they'll get to know more about each and every one of us. So I head this back over to you, my brother.
Okay. Well, guys, you've been following me for a while, so if you made it here to the Blerds, this is what it's all about. We are here to promote the positivity in the fandom. That does not mean we won't disagree with each other, but we will not have the Jerry Springer show here. So if you're looking for that argumentative back and forth, it's not happening here. One, we have a female on our staff who is going to be like, no, I didn't sign up for this. Y'all niggas need to calm down. So it is what it is. Okay. Two, I don't want to hear it anymore. I went through all that with Star Wars. Every time the show came out and it sucked, and I said it sucked, and I said I'm sorry, but I can't stomach it. I'm not a fan. I just don't like women in power. I'm an author. And in all my books, there's always a female who outshines every man in my book. When I play my Star Wars online, I'm a female Jedi. Every game I play a female. I don't understand how I'm the bad guy when it's poor writing. I just don't. So don't go there. Let me say this though. Today I had the opportunity of supporting my friends. And even though the Cosmic Portal was kind of put on the back burner for this convention, I'm going to take the high road. I went to support my friends. Now, I should have been supporting them through what I normally do, which is promote. The Cosmic Portal is not a club. The Facebook page is more for the information of what's going on around us, authors, Yestertoys 1 and 2, and that sort of thing. So, to my friends, I need to say this. I am sorry that I was a little shallow and I did not do what I normally do, because it doesn't have to be about me when the moment was on y'all. Okay? So let me say that first and do no. We're gonna can't do that. I don't want to give Bishop top billing. He's already trying to take over. We heard his ultimatum. He's coming out the box. I'm taking back over the Blerds. All right. First, let me thank Geek Fandoms NC. All right. They've also turned themselves into an LLC, and Mr. Larry Garrett and his wife Abby Garrett do a tremendous job with what they're doing. They are promoting their own little business, which comes with t-shirts, this nice little tumbler that he made for me. As you guys know, it's all about the Oscarith and what I'm trying to do now. But look at that. Look at my little Cosmic Portal thing on there. All right. So the tumbler, the hat, I got a couple of shirts. And I want to thank them for that. Now, with that being said, his t-shirt shop can make you shirts to any design. He also has access to Disney to have Disney products. So you can buy Disney shirts from his store. If you need a custom shirt, I can do that. He can do that too. It's just whatever you prefer. I am not
we definitely need to link up.
Yeah, I'm not gatekeeping anything. Okay, I am going to share the knowledge, and in hopes that one day somebody, if they do make it to wherever they make it to, they remember that the Cosmic Portal helped them out, and that's good enough for me. But my friends were there, and I should have been promoting and doing what I was doing, because we all hang out, we all do things together, and that's look at that. Look, that's Bishop trying to take over. See, that's Bishop right there. Get out of here, Bishop.
I didn't do that.
That's a character design me and Bishop was going over with. So let me go ahead and do this one as well. Virginia Nerd Alliance, Mr. Alan Townsend, over there at Geek Fandoms. As you guys can see, there they are doing their things. These two guys right here. This guy right here is Jedi Joe. He runs the
I don't see nothing on the screen. Oh, I see myself again. Oh, there you go.
So we have our two boys, Big L and Jedi Joe, here doing their thing. Again, it's a nice thing to do to follow it. They're in the 757, they're local, so that's what we do. We love to promote that local stuff. And then of course, I cannot forget about my main man. This guy has saved my skin more times than I like to admit. I don't know if I can get it on here. Hold on. Let me shrink this down. There it is. I'm on fire today. I got some skills today. What's going on? All righty. So, Mr. Rob Ash. Anytime that I wanted to do a convention or something, Rob has always been there. He's always the guy who has the extra this, the extra tape, power supply, whatever I needed, Rob had it. Okay, so he was there too. Mars Con is basically his first home away from home. That Monster Fest and Fantasy. So go give him a like and a follow. To my friends, I will not allow things like this to slip by me again. I will promote you like I always have done, even if the Cosmic Portal isn't there, because that's what we do. We're supposed to be in the fandom to support each other and push each other out there. So that's what we're going to do. All right. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get to the topic at hand. There was a time when we all got together to go to a superhero movie. Everybody would like to say that we owe modern day superhero movies to Blade. Okay. Blade starts off, especially for Marvel. It starts off Marvel's, it saved Marvel. Marvel was going
Yeah,
under until Blade
they're going
popped out.
bankrupt.
We were all excited. We didn't care if there was a Batman movie or a Marvel movie. We just wanted a superhero movie. We weren't so divided. We weren't so jaded about this and saying, "Oh my God, this is better than this," and da 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 da, and then attacking each other online because we didn't like this version of the movie. And I feel kind of sad because we've lost that nostalgic feel for what it is, without being antagonistic towards each other. Did not care for Superman due to the fact that
Oh,
I don't like happy campy stuff.
you say
I
that
need my
every day now. Come on now.
grit,
Come
grit.
on. It was good.
Look,
It was a good
look,
movie. And it is
you
Superman.
look. It's good for you.
It is Superman.
If
That's
you're
what
a
Superman
Superman
is.
fan, that okay?
Superman.
Well.
Come on now.
You
I
can
know
keep
you like
that version of Superman.
yeah.
You can keep that version of Superman, but see, I'm older now. I don't see the world like that. I've never
Okay.
saw the world like that. Christopher Reeve, I'll tell you, Fighting Zod 1 and 2. When anybody asks me what's a superhero movie, that's the epitome, especially the Donner cut. Superman 1 and 2, the Donner cut. Okay, that's a Superman. To me, that's a Superman. This one just it did nothing for me. The only thing it did do for me was go, please don't touch Batman.
Well, I can't agree with that 100% because
Okay.
yes I am a Superman fan, but you know what I like the most about this movie is I love the fact that he got his ass kicked through the whole damn movie. I really like that because it showed that they were in the Henry Cavill, Superman, the Man of Steel, they gave him that godlike feeling and everything, and I was just like, I found that boring. But because Superman is just he's a versatile character, and this time they decided to show him. It was only three. Keep in mind, it was only 3 years. He only been being Superman for 3 years, so basically he's still a rookie in a superhero game and all that. And he was getting thrown around, and it was just and the introduction of the other superheroes like Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, and Mister Terrific. I love that, especially any black superhero that gets out and we can see him. That's like the ultimate, to me in the DC world. He's smarter than Batman. He's just that guy. And I'm so glad that he's made his debut in that Superman movie, and kind of this overshadowed Superman. I've never really seen anybody really do that in a Superman movie. But I think I'm gonna give this one a chance. I really want to give it a chance because I'm not gonna say that I didn't like the Snyderverse. There were a few things that I did like. The good ones, the blockbuster movies, like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, Aquaman, of course, Man of Steel. Those were great movies. Everything else is just Suicide Squad. That was another good one, I believe. But everything else just seemed like it was really just they really wanted to make a movie. And it was just and they just pushed it out there. Some of them are comic book accurate. And I also believe that some things just don't translate over well into cinema. Like Blue Beetle should have been a better movie, but it was a very accurate movie. But it was trash.
I'll say the problem with Blue Beetle, and I don't understand that because that was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie, but people didn't support it because they didn't know the character. And I'm like, that was what I thought was wrong. Because,
Mhm.
when Marvel came out, you didn't know who any of these characters were, but everybody was like, these are the greatest movies ever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's all right. I hated Avengers 2. I thought that was the worst piece of crap that they put out there. And every time I look at it, I get angry because of what it is, and it's not right. So I don't like that at all. And then some of the other characters, I'm like, well, this is not how this character performs, but this is what they're putting in the movie, so I'm not really happy about that. Like you said, the DC universe, the DCEU was pretty good. Zack Snyder's man, what is it? Justice League was the best, hands down. If that was released, that would have been, outsold just about anything Marvel has put out there.
Mhm.
But look at how the numbers did when they released it on, on was it HBO Max?
HBO Max, yeah.
Yeah, and then the sales for the DVD, that's what you got to look at because it didn't get a theatrical release till I guess what recently they played it in black and white at two theaters, one in LA and I think one in New York for a special engagement, but it sold out. That was it. That's all you got with that movie.
They
Like
did a
you
thing
said,
on that.
yeah,
They showed the guy, and I sent it to you guys. The guy told you he broke it down about the structure of these
I saw that. Yeah.
DC. It did not fail because
Mhm.
everything he did made money, which I keep telling everybody. The first 5 DC movies beat the first 5 Marvel movies money wise, and everybody like, no, it didn't. I said, yes, it did. Again, I'm talking to people half the time that are comic book illiterate anyway.
they're only looking at
And
what's
then, you know what I mean?
on the screen. Yeah,
They see what's on the screen in the movies, like Mr. Terrific. So we get him in the CW, and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be cool. This is going to be, And
that
then
was
they
horrible.
did what they did with him. They break out Bronze Tiger, and I said, well, Arrow doesn't have much of a chance here. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Bronze Tiger can consistently beat Batman. Consistently. There's no way in the world Ali is going toe to toe with Bronze Tiger and coming out with this many wins. That's some crap. I was like, no, I don't care. It's Green Arrow versus Bronze Tiger. Green Arrow can't go toe to toe with Batman. He cannot go toe to toe with Batman. And there's no way he should be able to beat Bronze Tiger. That's just crazy. So, and I get it. You get these, you want to uplift whatever you want to uplift. For me, like I said, would I take my grandkids to see Superman? Oh, absolutely. For me, you got to keep that Kitty Marvel stuff over there. I don't play that. I don't want that. I don't want to see squirrels going, no, 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 no. Drunk Supergirl, but you can't get drunk because the sun and then here she comes stumbling in. Give me a break. I'm done. I'm done with that. But what scared me the most was Creature Commando supposedly didn't do well. I didn't realize that. Right? They said the numbers weren't great. They released it on YouTube, but now supposedly we got a season 2 of Creature Commandos.
it was a great show though.
Really good.
I loved it. Yeah, I love it.
Perhaps the reason we got a season 2 of Creature Commandos is the fact that it's James Gunn's property, or he's
That don't
doing.
make no sense.
No. He's greenlighting it because it's his.
But that don't make no sense. You
If
can't
yes, it
green
does.
light. You can't. No, it doesn't. You can't
If
green
you're
light
the
something.
president, if you're the
Listen to
president,
me.
if you're
You
the
can't
president of the
green light
company,
anything if the numbers aren't there to green light it.
yes, you can. If you're the CEO of the company, yes, you can.
He's not the CEO. All he is the head of DC.
I'm
But
sorry,
that
he's the
doesn't
head of
mean.
DC. Yes, he can release. He could like green light. He could green
Listen to
light,
me.
and he could
Listen to
also
me.
stop
Listen to me, though. Listen to
anything
me.
that he
They're
doesn't
not
want.
going to let him spend money on something that does not show viewership. They're not just going to do that. They're not just going to, he could green light Batgirl.
Well, how about this? How about this? What about if it was already guaranteed to have 2 seasons already?
If it was guaranteed to have 2 seasons,
There
like,
you go.
I don't know, say Star Trek Academy.
Say Velma.
No, oh God, Jesus!
Thank
Why
you.
would you even bring up Thelma?
But no, because
That
Velma was guaranteed 2
was
seasons.
a horrible show.
Right. But it was guaranteed 2 seasons, and nobody watched the first season, yet they released the season 2, and nobody watched that. But it was guaranteed 2 seasons.
But whatchamacallit wasn't guaranteed 2 seasons.
And listen, I don't know. I thought
That's what I'm
Creature
telling you.
Commandos was
I'm
good.
telling you it wasn't.
No, but I'm
They
just saying, I thought Creature
they
Commandos
just
was
now said
good.
it was in production. It's a good show.
I
Because
thought it was.
anytime you can take a character and make me go, oh damn, I like him.
Yeah, like the Weasel.
You know what I
I
mean?
thought the Weasel. Yeah,
Weasel.
that was, yeah.
Weasel is a prime example
Listen,
of that.
all I'm saying is James Gunn's DC universe as of now has a lot going against it. And the fans have spoken. That Superman movie was okay for kids, it was okay for families. But adults, I'll say this, a lot of adults thought it was trash. I was one of them. Now, I would take my grandson to go see it.
Oh yeah.
I watched it, I bought it, but halfway, like what? I think maybe 20, 40 minutes into the movie, even my wife was like, I'm ready to go.
Well, we have a female here, Miss.
No.
Miss
Listen,
Zena.
listen.
Well,
Look,
wait a minute,
I know. Art is subjective.
Okay, but I want to hear what she got to say.
Oh,
Did you like
go ahead, Vonda, because she watched it twice, I believe.
The only good thing about that movie was the beginning when the fortress came out of the snow. It comes on TV sometimes. I might look at it for a few minutes. I didn't like the comedy. I'm sorry. I'm a Henry Cavill. He's my Superman. It was just a little too comic. The squirrel, like Caleb said, that was stupid. You didn't have to show that. Mark and I have had debates just necessary on that scene. He's a Boy Scout. No, cut that. I don't want to see that. Now, yeah, I'll take, a grandchild to go and see it, but I don't, it's not one of those Superman movies that I watch regularly when I see it come on TV. I mean, the other day, one of the channels was doing a Superman marathon. And it was just on the station, and we watched it for a little while, the original one with Christopher Reeves. I grew up on that. I'm going to watch it. But my Superman is not this new guy. I don't know what his name is. I know
David Corn.
Yeah, I know Mark really, likes Superman. Would I watch part 2 whenever if it comes out? Yeah, we'll see the first day, but I'm not excited on the Superman movie. I literally watched it and I was like, ew, And then the Supergirl being drunk, he tried to explain to me that's not what I'm used to. I am one of the people that I don't look at comics, so I only know what I see on TV or on the big screen, and just what I saw, I didn't appreciate it.
Listen, I say this to Calibus all the time. If you have to go read, and there's a comic book that's came out for the movie, that explains what happens. If you have to
Star
go read
Wars.
a comic book and you spent your money on the movie and the
Star
movie
Wars.
didn't explain what you saw, the movie failed. Like Oliver Queen said, you have failed this city. You have failed the audience.
Well, we'll stop with it.
But
Talk
who's
about that.
buying comic books
But
now?
most
I'm
of the
not
people,
buying comic books.
it's not the fact that you buy comic books. These characters are based on comic books. No matter what you say, Superman is a Boy Scout. He's not a person that kills. He is somebody out there who's trying to save people. That's what you want to see. Now, Henry Cavill, when you do a comparison and see some of the things he did, now, I'm not knocking Henry Cavill because I like Henry Cavill, but he wasn't saving anybody.
He
was
saved the whole city.
He was
No,
such a
he did not.
The
defeated
whole
man.
planet.
When
He
General
saved the whole planet.
Zod threw a tanker truck at him, he got out of the way, and it blew up behind him. What about the people that was behind him? They all
Oh,
died.
I'm sorry. You're right. He should have stopped and did all that because our
He should at
Superman
least stop
just
the
got his
tanker.
powers.
No,
he
he
didn't
should
have
have stopped.
3
He
whole
should have
years of
stopped the
being an
tanker. That's
apex
all I'm saying.
superhero.
No,
3
I'm just saying.
years.
No, I'm just saying. This is
3.
what we're looking
And he's
at.
saving squirrels
Okay,
and
that is a
fighting
little ridiculous
kaiju.
for me. That was
Kaiju.
ridiculous.
Hold on,
Okay,
gentlemen.
so
Hold on.
wait a minute.
Hold
When
on.
he
What
when
kind
he-
of shit
when
is
he
that?
got on
Hold
the
on,
tanker
gentlemen. Hold on.
and he
Let
saved
somebody
those
speak at a
people,
time.
when he got on the tanker and he saved the people, that's Superman. When he destroyed the satellite and went in space and just came down and just started crashing through buildings, that is not Superman. That is just
But Mark,
yes.
Yeah.
let's analyze this for a second.
Okay.
Like Calibus had said, he just discovered who he was maybe a week. He may have
True.
known about his powers.
Right.
He may have known what he could possibly do, but he respected his father's wishes and not outed himself to the world.
So do you
Until,
think if say we're going to do the same 3 years that David Cornswet is at, do you think he's going to be that type of Superman going forward in the future?
hell yes.
Oh,
You think
Yeah.
Hell yes.
he's going to save squirrels then is what you're saying?
No. But no. Let me ask you this question. As a Superman fan, when you pick up a Superman comic book, do you want it like the 1966 comic, 1966 Batman?
Well, hell no.
Or do you want it to be more realistic like in the time you living in 2025 or
I do
2022?
Why we
want
got to
that.
pick on Adam West like that though?
No.
I
I'm just
gotta be-
saying. I'm sorry, not 1966. 1978. Are you living in 1978? Or are you living in 2026 right now?
See, 2026. No, I'm not just saying that. I understand where we need to go, but
But no. But let me ask you this question: do you want camp in your movies like
no,
Holy Rusted Metal Batman?
no, I don't want any of that. But I'm just saying.
But
the
that's what
character-
James Gunn gave us was camp.
But then let's look at this then. Like that is Superman. Batman is dark. I'm okay.
No. I get what you're saying, but I'm
yeah,
just
and that's
asking:
what I'm saying.
are you more inclined to like
Oh, no.
camp or serious?
I like the serious. I don't like when they do
So-
childlike things.
So James Gunn gave
It's
us
more-
childlike wonder
Correct. But
that is more Saturday morning cartoon.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
But hold on. And
This way-
Zack Snyder gave us like if you walked out your house right then and there in 2013,
Yeah.
in the dark world that we lived in, and with all the wars and all the politics and all of life of 2013, that's the Superman we got. He's been told his whole life, restrain yourself. Do not show who you are. He was pushed around as a kid. He was bullied. Even though he could beat the bully up, he was bullied and he kept it all in. He was a young man that just restrained himself his whole life. And then when he finally is allowed to enjoy his powers, Zod shows up.
Yeah.
And all these Kryptonians, and they got the same exact powers he has. So that's the world he's living in. That's the world we saw. And then on top of that, what Zack Snyder did, Zack Snyder treated the DC heroes like they were mythological gods out of Greek mythology.
Yes.
That's what we got.
Okay, so let me talk about this thing because, like, I do say that I see the what you're saying, but let's look at the cartoon movies that have been coming out, and DC's cartoons do quite well. So comparing the Superman when you look
Animation. They're
at
not cartoons, sir. This is not Scooby Doo. They're animation.
whatever, but think about any of the DC animations that have come out. When you look at all of the Superman movies,
Right.
I would go with what is it? Superman Shazam. I love that one. It's just a
Yeah,
short,
that was good.
but yeah, he wasn't campy. You know,
What's that other one, Mark, where he fights the British guy, the girl, and the whatever?
oh,
Oh, the
And remember
Superman versus the Elite.
yeah,
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 Superman
the
versus
versus
elite.
the
the elite.
Elite.
That was come on,
Yes,
man.
but you
Yeah,
saw he was so campy in that movie that everybody hated him as Superman. And then he went, he had to go to the moon to fight those guys, and he just let loose. He was like, "This is what you want me to be." That what everybody is like. I have that moment where I can go too far,
right.
and that's what he said. He killed the girl, then he killed the guy, but he didn't kill anybody. The only person he hurt was what is his name, Black. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. But see, that's the thing.
And he
When
just gave
you
him a lobotomy or whatever.
Who
Right.
So
was
when
he
you
could,
do
eyeball?
that, when
yeah,
you do that though, right? When you do that to these characters, right?
yes,
Like with Superman and all that other stuff, you got to again. The only difference was I got this long monologue, and he's been Superman, the apex superhero, for 3 years, and he loses his first fight, and I'm like, well, 3 years, you the apex predator, you can't be all that. Sorry, you need 3 years. Henry Cavill didn't have that time. He had to adjust everything on the fly. I get all that. Here's my question. We can't have movies like that now because of the times we live in.
Hmm.
As much as I love the Snyderverse, I think the people don't understand. The people who are writing it, unless you have a Zack Snyder, um, somebody who's going to just give you a movie without preaching to you, give you a movie about humanity, saving humanity, versus throwing in your politics of the day. Okay, you know, you can tell by some of the writing in the movie that it was really kind of leaning kind of left, you know what I mean, with certain things, and they took some leisure with a lot of certain things. And I'm to the point that I really don't even watch American TV because I'm tired of the politics. I just need a story, and
Just
I
tell a
need it to be
story.
good.
Yeah.
I just need it
And
to be
that,
good. I don't need anything
and
else.
that's why I feel like DC and Marvel dropped the ball with that when all of this
Yeah.
started rolling. It was. I don't go to a fantasy movie to see reality. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a I want to see a comic book movie. That's why I love the Superman movie so much because it was actually they didn't over explain his powers and all that. They didn't have an origin story. I swear the DC and Marvel they keep with origin stories and everything. I don't want to see Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne get shot in that alley anymore. And I don't want to see Uncle Ben get shot anymore. I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see any if it's not a brand new superhero, I don't want to see it. But the problem is that you're right. The politics trickled over into the movies, and they had to soften everything. You know what I mean? In my
Mm.
personal opinion, um, don't get me wrong. Everyone deserves to be presented in their own way or however you want to say. I do believe it. But what I believe, this is my own personal theory. When all this stuff trickled over into the movies, they underestimated how much people weren't going to be interested in it just because
Oh no,
it's
definitely,
it's coming from a super
definitely.
point of view. They're dealing with the same that no, it didn't. They tried to sell it and it didn't work. It wasn't like they wasn't trying. Everyone, both sides were trying to appease everyone. I'm gonna go and say it like that. They were trying to appease everyone, but they didn't take into accountability. Like I said before, some things just don't translate over well into cinema, and I just believe the whole thing, the the real world did not work in these fantasy movies. And
No,
going back to Superman, that's why I loved it so much. I felt like it was a real superhero movie. It jumped right into some action. Now I am a Christopher Reeves fan. You know, he is just like Michael Keaton is the ultimate Batman. That they're always going to be number one to me. But I do believe it was time for a little bit of a change. And this new universe that we're going to see, there's so much potential. You know, there's a lot of potential to it. Like I said, he's only been doing it 3 years. You know, the next movie, he could be a tougher, more seasoned Superman. You know, that's what it's supposed to be in the new Spider-Man movie. Tom Holland Spider-Man, he's supposed to be this time around, he's supposed to be a more seasoned and older Spider-Man. So we're going to see him doing something different, you know? And I just feel like the Superman movie was very different. It was unlike any Superman movie we ever saw before. He was losing. He was getting his ass kicked severely. You
And
know,
see,
all
and for me, I go to a Superman movie because I want to see Superman do epic things. I want to see Superman be super.
yeah.
I'm not going to see Superman get his ass kicked throughout the whole movie because he's not super if he's getting. That's like if you go to a Batman. Oh, no. Let's do this. How many of y'all remember the old Kung Fu movies back in the day? With Bruce
So
Lee,
like Lotus,
Jackie Chan, and whatnot.
Seven Deadly Venoms, or
Right,
what
yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking about.
the five deadly venoms,
I
right?
did with him.
So when you went back and when you go back and you watch those films, your hero of the movie, yes, he has an arc, you know. But my point is, we don't tune in, or most of us don't tune in to watch our hero get beat the whole way through the movie. Then at the end, he finally does something and then he wins because look, like what
That's
is
what
one
happens.
of the
That's what
greatest.
happens in a comic book, though. He
Right, but
doesn't have
Batman.
no, dude, you're reading the
You know,
wrong comic books.
I was gonna
You're
say
reading the wrong
Batman did
comic
that as well, though.
yeah.
because when you what when he faces off against Bane, yeah, he put him through. Bane had planned the whole thing out for Batman.
Mhm.
He, to wear him down. But
in
that
the
was
comic, that was
that
in the
right.
comic, but
That was
in the movie, he didn't even
right,
do that. He
No.
had his
right,
thing, and then because Batman said, "I'll just fight harder," and Alfred was telling him, "You haven't fought anybody like this. You
right.
haven't seen anybody like this." And I'm sitting in the theater like, okay. And that first hit when Bane didn't move, I said, "You in trouble." Just like with Superman, he bam, 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 and I'm like, "Run, run." Because you've taken him to where you've taken him. You've got your licks in, but that's all you can expect. And then when it's too late. Don't raise your hand up. It's too late. You have to get an ass whooping
Yeah.
because that's Superman. As a Batman fan, I recognize you can hit me with prep time. I don't want to hear that. That's bull. Okay? Because he had him. Superman didn't even know what kryptonite was. But now Superman knows Batman can make kryptonite. Do you think Superman gonna mess around with that?
Mm.
I would fly into space, go over, go over Gotham. Done.
Uh, look, I'm gonna say this to you all. Like we all,
Well,
well, I know
I was gonna say,
I don't know how old
Superman
you
is
are.
too much of a
Yeah,
voice.
this Superman wouldn't do that. No.
Yeah, even if he knows, yeah,
Look,
Superman doesn't do.
you Lois Lane.
But look,
Oh yeah, then he's gonna punch a hole through you.
Dark, Darkstar. I don't know how old you are, but I know Calibus, myself, and Marky Mark, and maybe Vonda. We're all somewhere. We probably grew up in the '70s and the '80s,
Yeah,
right? Our heroes, Schwarzenegger, uh, um, what's his name, Bruce Willis,
Mhm.
Stallone. We sat
John
there and
Claude
we
Van
saw our
Damme. Yeah.
right. We saw our heroes. They were badass. So we grew up with badass heroes. Now they may have, took a hit, took a lick here and there, but still they were badass.
Yeah,
Okay, even
the thing
even
about
the
that,
female,
as a kid,
right,
one man can take on a whole army and a
right.
complex and still walk out
And
as
look,
a kid.
even the females were badass back then. So we're used to
Yeah,
having badass heroes, not this
I don't know. I
soy.
don't know. That's a stretch. That's a stretch because even now, I think about it. You know what I mean? There ain't, no, you're not going in there with one M60 and da 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 da
No,
da
no,
da
no,
da
no.
the
I'm
whole
saying,
thing, and then
yeah.
But
you
that's the
walk out
Now,
fantasy about it,
smoking a
though. That's the
cigar
fantasy.
and everything is
I
good.
was gonna say because
But
when Wonder
there's
Woman,
a
when
sci-fi
the
part of
first
it,
Wonder Woman movie came out,
Mhm.
she walked across no man's land
yeah,
with a shield
well,
and what is it, and a sword.
she's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but she did that by herself. The only
Yeah,
problem with that is she had Steve Trevor.
that
Oh, you can't do this.
scene
Everything she wanted
too.
to do, he said, no, you can't do that. He put her down, but she built herself up.
And then
right.
in the second movie,
Oh,
yeah,
that.
I'm
Oh
going to
God.
mention that. You know, she just sits there and cries to the world on TV about you being
Yeah,
good.
Look,
no.
That was
look,
a letdown. I mean,
Look, all I'm saying is
we
we,
need
we
more. We need more heroes like.
all I'm saying is
yeah,
when I go to a superhero fantasy movie or sci-fi movie, I'm there to be entertained. I want to see my hero kick ass, take names.
I really
And
think you're going to
I
see that
don't want to
in the
see
next
my
movie.
hero getting his ass whipped the whole way through the movie. Because to me, you're not a hero.
Well, I
I
You
have a
know,
mean,
question
okay,
for
you may do
in
everybody.
something
Superman's
heroic.
defense, he was
yeah.
literally getting his
But
ass whooped by another
no, I'm going to
Superman.
say
So
it's a
that was
growing thing. But I have a question. So, do you think because we've been spoiled with movies, superhero movies for the past, it's almost like 2.5 decades
20
now.
years now, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think it's just too saturated and they need to lay off of these movies and
Yeah,
move on to something else
I think they
I
do.
for a
think
while?
why can't we just slate some of these B-listers? I think, me personally think, if James Gunn would have did The Question, leave the big three alone.
Yeah,
We've had
yeah,
enough of the big
yeah.
three. Give me
Same
The
thing with
Question.
Marvel.
I
Yeah,
would not have questioned his artistic license with The Question.
right.
I loved Peacemaker season 1. I can't stand John Cena, okay? But I laughed. I found the show funny. Then he gave me season 2 and tells me at the end of Superman that I need to go see season 2 because it connects. And what I got is X-rated people. I
Yeah.
got,
A lot.
sex and all this other stuff. And I'm like, how do you go from I can take my kids to, I can take my grandchildren to go see a Superman movie, but then you tell me to go watch Peacemaker, and now I've got balls and everything up on the screen and vagina, and I'm like, come on, man. Come on,
It
man.
wasn't that. I didn't enjoy the
Yeah,
second
second
season.
season.
I was horrified that he even did this and then put it out like, here you go. No, Mr. Gunn, no.
Well,
No.
I
You
do have a
dropped the
question.
ball.
I have a question for everyone, considering the fact tomorrow is Martin Luther King's birthday. I had a question. Uh, I wanted to know what everyone thinks of the state of blackness in Hollywood, television, movies. Are black people being represented in a positive light?
No,
No.
no, not
no,
whatsoever. I mean, think about in the '90s when we had all that black representation in the media. We like all of the number one shows were black entertainment shows, and then
Yeah.
it looks like they've removed us from everything. And that I think that part has gotten to be a little bit ridiculous. So
Yeah, I agree. That's even the same thing with music.
Schwarzenegger.
You know, music is the same way. You know, we had a good, you know, 90s, 2000s. When you look at music today, it's like,
it
where
all
is it?
sounds the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where is it? You know?
well, they want our R&B, they want our soul, but they want it in a white person putting it out there. They don't want us to put it out there,
Yeah.
but they still want our music.
hmm
So look at it that way.
I find it
You're
difficult.
muted, Bishop.
Oh,
Oh,
I was saying, like in that scene in the Five Heartbeats, where they brought him in. They're like, we want the what was it, the Five Horsemen? Ain't got no money. So is
No,
that what you?
I mean, look where we went. We went from being the guy when a brother stepped into the room, everything got quiet, or when they were like, well, we got to get past Jonesy. And, Jonesy was the big black guy. Now, when they say, oh, here comes Jonesy, Jonesy comes out switching and tropping and twirling and whatnot. And now I'm sitting there going, really? Or he's the scared little black nerd who doesn't, he's not bad. We don't have any strong black leads anymore. Denzel is getting out there. He's getting old.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
getting old.
Um,
His son was pretty good though, but he
yeah,
hasn't done anything in a while.
Yeah,
but
it
I
sounds
mean,
good.
Yeah,
action wise or even lead wise, where are those strong black male presence? And don't get me started with a Tyler Perry movie because the dark
Oh
skinned
man, we
brother's
ain't got
treating his wife wrong, and then here comes the high yellow brother. He comes in and he scoops her off her feet, and he's usually the repairman or some type of grocery go getter or whatever else, and he gets this well educated, well off black woman.
yeah.
Well, so let me ask Vonda, what is your
Where's
thoughts
mine
on
at? That's what I'm saying.
what are your thoughts on this, especially you being a black woman and like I know look, I know every show's
Michael
got a
B.
strong
Jordan.
every show's got a boss bitch. Every show's got a strong black female. But how do you feel about the state of television and movies today?
I mean, I know I've always been the kind of person to watch a show and I'm looking for how many black people is on the show. I've always done this. I still do this. I hate to admit a lot of the shows that I watch, it's not necessarily a black show. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not looking for a black show. I'm looking for a good show. Saddens me that it's not more minorities in the show, but I know you mentioned Tyler Perry movies. I stopped watching that like 20 years ago.
Agreed.
I'm
Agreed.
not,
Yeah,
I'm not that kind of girl.
those movies do not represent
Yeah,
all of us.
I'm
They
not
really
that kind of
No.
girl. I want to go in and, I want to see blood, guts. That's just the kind of girl I am. So I do hate the idea that we're not representative well enough on TV and in movies. I thought at one point that we were coming around, but I do feel like we're going back. There's not a lot of black females
There
strong
he goes.
in TV anymore right now. So that's kind of sad. Where before we had Olivia from Scandal, and
Oh yeah.
we don't have that really anymore. And I do kind of agree. The black person. I like watching variety shows. I watch Survivor, I watch Big Brother, and the black character is a gay person or a too much of a strong black woman, and they're always the first few people they try to get out of the show. She opened up her mouth, well, we got to get her off because she's too powerful. And then the black gay person come in, and okay, we can be friends with them a little while, but all the Caucasians, get together, and we know what they're doing. They're not necessarily saying it on TV, but I know what they're doing. So it's
Look, I think we all know what they're doing.
yeah,
Well, I was gonna say because remember when you were watching what is it, Big Brother, and everybody was talking about the cookout
yeah,
because all of the black people on the show got together and evicted everybody else, so they never allow that to happen
that's
again.
never gonna happen again.
Never gonna happen again because they won. They got together and they did that, and then everybody now, whenever two of them are on the same show, the first thing they think about is, well, you guys did this before, so we can't let you do it again. So
A great thing about Unity, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
And the stopping of it. And that
Yeah.
was one
yeah.
of the
Did y'all
reasons
like?
why
You
I
guys like? Did
wanted
you guys
us.
like Captain America? Anthony Mackie. Did y'all like Captain America?
I thought
I
it was okay.
I thought it
It
was
was
okay. I thought
yeah,
it
it
was
was pretty good.
it had some good moments. I thought Anthony Mackie represented Captain
Well, I
America
mean,
well.
I liked the Winter Soldier thing, and I wasn't expecting him. You know, the show.
Oh,
You know,
Falcon and
I
the Winter
wasn't
Soldier.
expecting him to give that
Oh yeah,
speech
it was real good.
at the end of the show.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Now, I didn't care for the girl from Solo in there as the villain. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
passe, but you know, when he said that speech, I was just like, it made me think. You know what I mean? Because yes, we don't have that. We don't have that thing. And then to this day, there will be people that will say, "Oh, well, you know, Steve Rogers, he's the only Captain America for me." And then I'm like, okay, well, that's not comic book accurate, but okay, you
There
know,
were
I
so
mean, that's
many other
cool.
Captain
You know what I
Americas.
mean?
Yeah.
That shit, man,
I
fuck.
mean,
That's your racism coming out of your pores. That's what that
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
is, motherfucker.
well, you know, I
You can
mean,
say that.
I hear, believe it, I hear it a
Don't get
lot
me wrong. I
around that.
love Steve
You know,
Rogers. He actually one of my favorite superheroes. I love Steve Rogers, Captain America, and shit. But when we're talking about representation, a black man as Captain America, that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And
well, I
I
love the
I
original.
love it.
You
Yeah.
know, the brother they had put away, and then they. I love his. You know
That's a
what? I think he's
sad
going to be at
story,
Richmond
bro.
too.
Yeah.
I think he's going to
That's
be
a
up at
sad
Richmond.
story.
But I sat back and I watched that evolution. So in this new Marvel movie, he's supposed to be in there, kind of front and center. But
Yeah.
I don't. You know, you have what was that the Thunderbolts.
Oh, okay.
You know, as the new Avengers, and I'm sitting there going, it's a little too early to be doing this rivalry thing when you had this Suicide Squad, basically Marvel's Suicide Squad. Now you're going to try to say that they're going to be the new Avengers or whatever else, when you obviously have a Captain America right here to redo all this stuff with a Falcon, right? So, you know, I'm in the Deadpool category. This multiverse stuff is, to me, is just lazy writing. Um, please come up with something different. Please give us something different. Again, I'm just, as a fan, I think I'm saturated enough where I'm just not excited for anything. Not my Mandalorian movie. I mean, you guys see it. I got the Mythosaur. There's my Mando right there. I
Yeah,
love
but do you guys really think
my
we should not give
Mandalorian.
these give all this another chance? That's what I'm excited about right now. Just one more
Yeah, but
chance.
I was
I
gonna say,
think
but
One more chance.
how many
I
chances are you gonna give
Yeah.
somebody with,
right.
you know, like
And that's why I
I
said
feel like
just
an
one more
abused
Yeah.
partner. I kind of
like
do.
Star
One more
Wars.
Well, they said it was going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, because I was like, I love Star Wars, but I did not like, you know, the last three trilogy. I didn't like the second one at all. That because you killed off all of my favorite characters for that crap that what is it, Ryan Johnson put out there. That was just bad. All of it was bad writing, bad everything, you know. And then
Yeah.
the last one, they had to try to tie everything back together, and it was so. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great. But they were doing their best, you know. And then I'm glad Kathleen Kennedy is gone because she was trying to give us another Ray trilogy. We're like, who wants to see Ray again on the big screen? And I think that's why people are not giving the Grogu movie because I'm like, it was a great TV show. It should have ended with Grogu going with Luke to learn how to be a Jedi, but it's selling toys, so now we have to bring him back. That to me messed up that whole storyline. So I
No,
didn't
that's
want
not
that.
just to you. That's to everyone.
True.
Anybody with a brain, it's obvious that they didn't carry it over well. You
No.
know what I mean? And they should have ended it. But I mean, I, I try not to even watch trailers anymore because I hear it so much with people. You know, they come in and these young kids are so excited because we have Cyclops in this blue and yellow, and I'm like, is that all it takes to get you excited? Putting them in blue and yellow? We can colorize that for you. We can, you know, there'll be somebody with AI. There'll be somebody that'll do it for you. Make it a comic book accurate. Because the moment Magneto was hung up in that Speedo, I was done with 97. I said, I have to move on. Good luck. I'm done. I don't need all that. You know, you rogue drops Gambit for Magneto? Yeah, I'm sorry. And I'm okay with this not being for me. if it means that you guys will enjoy it and you will keep going, maybe somewhere along the lines there'll be some old head going, you know what? We're going to do this for the OGs. And I'll get something that I can reclaim. The latest thing that I saw, Marky Mark sent it to me. Superman and Shazam merged for the KO comics, and they put Dragon Ball earrings only in the one panel, because the guy's a big Dragon Ball Z fan and he wanted to shout it out to his Dragon Ball Z fans. And that offended me because that's not in our universe. Keep your anime out of my DC stuff because we all know Superman beats Goku no matter how many god forms you give him. Stop it. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, you want to be, and then they put the little earrings on the dude, and I was just like, come on, man.
But see, that's the
Well,
problem that's the problem with this day and age with television shows and movies. They got young people who are active, who are part-time activists, writing stuff, and they're claiming that this, oh well, we're staying true to the origins and to the history of the franchise or the history of the like Star Trek Academy. No, I'm
We
just
have a
saying.
show on that on Thursday. We have
I'm
a show on that on
I'm just
Thursday. I have to
saying,
stop you right
you
there,
got.
sir.
Okay, I'm gonna stop, but I'm just saying, it's the same thing. You got people who don't know what they're writing. They're playing in somebody else's sandbox, and they're doing what they want to do with no regards to what has come before.
Okay,
Okay,
sir,
so
I'm going
when
to
you're
stop
saying
you right
that,
there.
you can't use Star Trek yet because they haven't talked about it. But
No,
you
I'm
can
not.
say,
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
but you can say
It's
that
not.
about the Acolyte, Star
It's
Wars,
not
the
just
Acolyte.
it's not just Star Trek. It's everything.
Yeah,
It's everything.
yeah, because
Everything.
Acolyte, when you
I
saw
think
that,
he's homophobic and he just doesn't like strong women and women of color. This man doesn't like women of color, and that's why he's complaining now
I
because
be
he
that.
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I be
yeah,
that.
but the Acolyte, when I saw that, that
I
was bad. And of course, yeah,
I didn't even finish it.
I finished it, but I
I
was
didn't even
like,
finish
I
it.
wasn't. I was angry for the most part, you know.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know,
Guys,
I'm
guys,
never gonna watch it again.
you have to admit though. I think me personally, I think Hollywood has finally not seen the light. They got tired of losing money. I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's
well,
most
Oh
of
look,
it.
yeah.
if
Just
that's
it's
what you're in the business to do is to make
flop,
money, you got to give the fans
yeah,
what they want.
But they haven't
flop
been.
after flop after flop. You know, it was just. I mean, on from I think from everything. You know, even the Alien and Predator movies. I feel like I'm like, okay, y'all have done this
True.
enough. You know, but the
I keep
franchise is still
watching.
alive and well. The franchise is still alive and well. But I just really think every time they do this is like they hit the reset button, and I'm really excited to see. You're right. They keep doing it, they keep doing it, but I really think this has been a bad run. You know what I mean? This has just been a really bad run. And for the DC world, um we're going to see more new characters. I mean, there's going to be a new Swamp Thing movie. I can't wait for that. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
and of course in Marvel, the mutants are coming. You know what I mean? The real mutants are coming. So I don't see where any type of woke type of thing can be even factored into that because being a mutant is horrible in their world. You know what I mean? But I'm a comic book reader and I actually see and I've actually read the horrible things that they went through, and I would be happy to see if they're gonna really if they're gonna do any justice, stay away from everything. Everybody needs to go. Avengers Doomsday. I don't want to see anybody from our time redo anything else. It's just it's time for a new everything. You know, it's time for a new Iron Man, Captain America, all of that.
Well,
And
they said
I'm
they
willing to
want
give
to
it.
do that. They want to reboot
And
with.
I want to
They
give it.
want to reboot
And I want to give it
after
more.
Doomsday. All
Yeah.
new characters, all new actors to play the characters because I guess it's there's their reboot button. So
Yeah,
that
that's the
is
reason.
something to be excited for. Like you said, a whole new reboot, but you have to give us, don't give me these Thanos villains. I'm doing it to save the universe. I just want a villain. I'm hurting, so now you all must hurt.
Listen,
Yeah,
Simple as that.
that's a super villain. You're right. He
Yeah.
don't have no
Yeah.
emotion. He doesn't have no.
all
Yeah,
I want is to see men being men again.
yeah. hmm
You know,
Well, sir,
yes, I
what are
know.
you talking about? Wait a minute now. I think the Batman, he was a real man. The Penguin, well, he had some issues, some really deep issues.
He was
But
on
The
point.
press gossip.
He was
oh
No,
my
that's
totally on
no,
god,
point.
bro. That's
dude, the ending killed it for me with
No,
Penguin.
no, no,
I
no, no.
was like,
That was a good that was the Penguin was a great show.
oh, that was a great show. Yeah,
Batman was a great movie. But all I'm saying is I want to see men being men again.
and define that because that
Okay.
sounds
Like
very.
you was talking to
I
me
can.
about like
It's more entertaining. That's what it is. It's more entertaining when it's like that. That's why. I'm
when
sorry to cut you off, bro.
you expressed to
I'm but I
me
feel you, man.
about this show The Gilded Age.
Yes.
And I watched that with my wife. Absolutely loved all 4 seasons.
Yeah,
But you know
okay.
why? One of the reasons
Yeah,
why?
because men
Men
were
were
telling women to
men.
shut up and be quiet, and they
Well,
were
no, no, no,
shutting
no,
up and being
not
quiet.
no. It wasn't
That's
because
what
of
it sounded
that.
like to me.
No,
You
it
sound a
wasn't
little.
because of that. Because it was just men being men.
This is like a
There's nothing wrong with men being testosterone driven. There's nothing wrong with a man embracing his manliness, whether it is somewhat something he may say may be construed as toxic, but he like, look,
But what I'm saying is, how far is this man going? Is he telling the woman to
Let
shut
me
up
ask you this
and
question.
get in the kitchen and make a sandwich? Is this
Let
what
me
you?
ask you this question. Would you rather see Stallone or would you rather see the Fab Five?
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question because Bonda was
Uh-huh.
like, "Is this a chick
Freeze.
flick?"
yeah, it's a chick flick. I don't want to see
No.
this.
It's an action movie. A male driven action movie like John Wick.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Gilded Age?
No.
Not the Gilded Age.
The
Gilded Age is
a
like
Gilded Age is a period piece set back in the
Oh,
1847.
okay.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I'm like, no,
It was about it's
What I would
about New
say,
York.
I'll tell
It's
you
about
what
New
was
York.
going bad, like why we haven't gotten the Blade remake yet, because
Oh, they
they were,
canceled that.
they were. Blade was just a character in his movie. It wasn't about him.
Right.
It was about
It
some
was about his
girl.
daughter. It was
Yeah,
supposed to be about his daughter. Like,
I
so
think
why
that was
even make the movie? Why even have
yeah.
him in it?
So that I think was the issue. We want to see Blade. He's the character.
Right.
I've never even heard of his daughter, but that's what you were pushing, and that's what made the problem. So I don't have a problem with, female characters. They just need a good female character. Wonder Woman was a great movie.
the first one.
The first one.
The first one, yeah. But when you look at it, I mean, I didn't have a problem with Black Widow, the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
I
It was
really like that movie. I'm
okay.
sorry.
like
I mean,
that
I'm
movie.
not a big
Action.
you know
Yeah, it
ScarJo
was a good
fan.
movie, and that
I
you
like
can
it.
have female characters like that because that's a female character.
Right.
But if you're doing,
Oh,
let's just say, we'll go back to Superman. You're doing Superman, but you're pushing Lois Lane on us as the main person in the movie.
That's not what
That's
I'm going to
the
go see.
problem. Yeah, then we have a
I
problem.
kind of feel like Fantastic Four did the same thing.
They
Yeah,
did.
But
they
Yeah.
did.
Reed
Yeah.
Richards,
Yeah,
Reed
they
Richards had no balls.
Sue Storm on that. And I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
about it because Reed Richards was like a secondary
Yeah,
character.
you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
But-
I think
So
it's
that's all I'm
Pedro
saying. I want to
Pascal
see men
fatigue.
being men.
Yeah.
But
John.
again,
Look,
you
they
keep, but
they
you
neutered
have
Johnny
to,
Storm.
your terminology.
They really
men
did do
being
that,
men.
man. Johnny Storm was so
They
soft in
neutered
that
Johnny
movie.
Storm.
Look, but you're saying, but your terminology is very triggering, sir.
Well, you know
It's-
what? That's my terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We understand what you
Yeah, we
mean, but
understand
yeah.
what you mean.
Look, they
You
can
can't
get these
men
look, they can
being
get these
men.
nuts.
You
They
know
can
what I
get
mean?
these
Like,
nuts.
look, I'm gonna tell you now. When y'all see me out in the streets, I'm a man. I'm a man being a man. But when I get home, yes, dear.
Hold on. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. All I'm saying is, I would, like, remember those commercials, the beer commercials of the '80s and the '90s. There was nothing really wrong with those commercials.
Yeah.
But then they come up with these new commercials where, like, hey, bro, you need to chill. You're being toxic. Like like the beer commercials were mainly commercials. Then they want to put Dylan Mulvaney on the commercial. Who they appealing to? That hard-working construction guy,
This ain't the village
or
people. I get what you're saying. So you want
Yeah,
more
like I said, it doesn't translate over well.
testosterone driven. He's blowing stuff up, and he's the
look. If
center
I'm
of
going to see an
attention.
action movie, I want to see action. I don't want to sit
Well,
there like,
here's the thing with that. You can pick up any anime, and the girl in there is kicking ass five times harder than any dude.
True.
Okay,
But what about
Now-
live action?
Oh, there's some live action girl.
No, men.
Okay,
Then
well, let's look
live
at
action.
John Wick, because
John Wick is
And the
awesome.
ballerina.
And then think about when they did
That was a great
Ballerina.
movie.
They did Ballerina, and they put John Wick in there, and she was kicking ass throughout that whole movie.
She was.
Until she met up with John Wick.
Until she met up with John Wick.
And then it was like, you realize,
how many times have we seen a 120-pound girl soaking wet throw a 300-pound man, beat him down?
Yeah,
and look,
I have a problem with those fantasy
he's
movies
special
too.
ops, and she is, she's a police officer. Yeah. Oh, did you guys see that movie G20 with Viola Davis?
Yes.
Was that good?
Oh,
hell no.
That was.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I can't believe she did a movie like that, bro. I really can't believe she did
exactly.
Wait a minute, you're talking about that. Let's talk about The Woman King. Viola Davis did
No, that was good.
And
that was a good movie.
Single woman in that movie kicked ass.
But that's based off of history. That's
and
real.
They were badass women. I love that movie. And that didn't,
and she was swole in that movie, bro. She was diesel.
Everyone was swole.
Listen, I'm not saying that women. I'm not saying that women can't have their place and do action movies and be badass. Like I said, we've seen that. We grew up with that.
What you mean a woman's place? See, I got a sense you're triggering, sir.
All I'm saying is, look, women have found their place now in this new modern audience, making movies. They're making movies and they're kicking ass in movies. Men, on the other hand,
it's not written right nowadays, though. Like it's like I don't feel like.
All I'm saying is back in the day, and I hate keep saying that term. Men didn't get over by making women weaker. We had strong men, we had strong women.
Now, you got to admit, Yester Toys has got a point because
Jason Statham is making his movie.
He sure did.
Yeah,
he's all testosterone.
Yeah, so and look, I fear for The Rock. I fear for The Rock because
one of those movies.
Yeah,
The Rock
I love his movies.
Slimmed down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He slimmed down now because he did that last
the Smashing Machine
UFC fighter movie, right? Smash Table or whatever it was, or whatever. Yeah. And now he's all slimmed down and stuff. And then he just finished Jumanji 3 or 4 or whatever it was. And my thing was seeing him as Black Adam.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I love that. But the moment that little Egyptian, well, it's not really Egypt, but Middle Eastern woman said, "Where was the Justice Society when they came and invaded us?" I said, here we go. This movie ain't going nowhere.
Down to the toilet, bro. That's where it went down from there and shit, bro.
Yeah.
It was
you know what I mean?
Now he's liberating a country and shit. And I'm like, oh, man, come on, bro. This is a superhero movie, and they made Black Adam is not soft. He is not one of them super villains that gets turned into the nice guy. You know what I mean? If you know
He's always
He
going to be
is
an
definitely
anti-hero. Is pretty much what we're looking.
Oh
anti-hero.
no,
Yeah.
anti-hero.
But in that movie, they made him the liberator of a country, and they threw in Henry Cavill at the end of the movie. You know, just like, oh, they're gonna have a clash or whatever, and that just never
That
happened
didn't
because
happen.
But
Yeah,
it never
that
happened.
know,
was
But
kind
it
of
was
disappointing.
still
And
that
then we
whole
got
thing.
Shazam
It was
2,
true.
Fury of the Gods.
Oh God.
Which,
oh,
That Shazam never would have went anywhere. But my point was the fact that that's the truth.
Yeah.
It was the truth. They had their own hero that the United States could not control,
yeah,
and it's a little politicky. And that's when I said, no one else. They're gonna condemn the movie. They're gonna condemn the movie because of that one little thing. And I would have loved to seen that go further between him and Cavill and all that other stuff. But the state of what we're looking at is this buyout. The only winners is Warner Brothers because I got a powerhouse over here and a powerhouse over there, and they're all throwing money at me.
yeah.
Mhm.
We
but
lose.
the power is still in the people, though. You're gonna have to get us back into the theaters. You know what I mean? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to get
And look,
back
I really
interested
don't.
in all of this shit.
I don't truly believe that the Doomsday is going to do as big as they think they're going to do.
I
No,
don't think
I
it's
don't
going to
think
do
so.
well.
No,
I was
no,
a
it's not.
little
It's not going to do
disappointed
Black
that they
Panther
hired.
numbers. It's not going to do Infinity War numbers. It's gonna.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be Black Panther. At the end of the day, Black Panther ended up making like $1 billion worldwide. You know
Right.
that those were Disney's goals when these movies were starting to kick off. But once that that's a bar. That's a high bar. You
Yeah.
know. And it just boggled my mind because it was like right after Black Panther. That's to me. That's when it really started to go downhill with Love and Thunder
Oh God.
and the Marvels and shit. I thought they literally in the Marvels they literally broke out into a musical in the middle of the fucking movie.
And
I
look,
was just
they literally said "Black Girl Magic," and I was like, "Oh my God." Oh my God.
See it.
Like really? Really?
Again, sir, you're triggering. Okay, that was a pivotal moment in a scene
The
to
same thing with,
raise up
hold
to
on,
show
hold
that
on.
Marvel was there for the female audience, and the fact that you're laughing at it shows the hypocrisy.
Did you laugh? Did
I didn't even watch that. I can't. That trash. You know, I didn't like. I didn't like Brie Larson from the get go.
Oh my
You
oh
know
hell
what
God.
I
no.
did like though?
What?
That Agatha thing.
Oh,
I
Agatha all
even
along?
like the
I didn't even
Vision
watch
and
that.
Wanda. I like that one.
I
Yeah.
You
didn't.
know.
I mean, it was okay, but I didn't like it. That I mean, there was parts of it I just got bored with, and I'm sitting there watching it, thinking, why the hell am I still watching this stuff? Because I'm
It
not in.
didn't get good. The last couple episodes. That's when it got halfway decent. You know.
But
Okay,
see,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
what I'm saying.
is
But
the
I'm
thing.
just we have to we like you said, we've been saying this from day one. You have to put the butts in the seats for people to want to see this. Okay.
Right.
If we stop going, there's no problem because now they got the message. The only thing is, if Netflix wins, you have a 3-week run in the movie theater. I can wait 3 weeks for something that I'm not excited for, and I'm
Oh
already
yeah.
paying what 17 or 16.99 for Netflix anyway.
But you know, the movie industry did this to themselves. So
Oh, I'm
you
not
can't
saying
blame the
that.
fans.
Oh no.
You know, and look, they sat there and when COVID hit, they shut down the theaters and they started putting everything on
everything.
TV. And everybody's like, oh, well, look, I could get all new movies this year on Netflix or HBO Max. And it conditioned people that, look, you know what? I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. You know, and let's look. And if you got a good friend like Marky Mark, oh, I put it up on play.
We can't talk. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Oh, sorry, I
If
didn't.
if you have if you have some friends that can
I
get
just
you
say
to
that.
the high seas,
All I'm
no one
saying
here,
is,
obviously.
all I'm saying
But
is, the movie industry has killed themselves. They shot themselves in the face, and they can't blame us because for the last several years, all they've put out is garbage.
okay, now, but here's one thing that they have learned. Okay, we may not have a movie for you, but if you come to the theater now, you can get your very own popcorn bucket.
So people are coming to the theaters to buy the popcorn buckets and going home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what I did.
No, but I'm saying that's what's happening.
I got one.
Because look, I'm sitting there paying my $17 per ticket or whatever it is, buying them for my family, spending $70 to go to the theater and buying popcorn and whatnot. Oh, I'd like to get that. Oh, we sold out on the first day. What?
But there's nothing like seeing a movie in the theater.
No, there's nothing
You know,
like
it's
that.
right
You're
in
right.
it, seeing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get the same thing because we go to the movies. I mean, we're
Yeah.
going to the movies, right? So we constantly go to the movies. And
Yeah.
it is not the same experience, even with the surround sound in here and the big
Right.
screen TV.
Yeah.
It's not the same experience
It's
when
not.
watching it at home as if I'm in the theater.
It's not.
No,
But you know,
But these
I'm a,
trash movies kind of it killed the theater
it
experience for me.
does.
You
It
know,
does.
it just
And look,
Yeah.
didn't we just
And
had the
now,
Golden Globe?
I was gonna say, if you go to the movies now, they're showing movies from the '80s again,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
we're going to see them, but I'm like the idea of that because we went and saw Purple Rain.
yeah, it was sold out.
It was sold out. They had to show two
Two shows.
showings because the first showing sold out,
Sold out.
and it
I
was
mean,
only a one-time.
but that lets you know the state of new movies. Modern
Yeah.
movies suck.
But old movies are doing well at the theaters
Yeah.
again.
And look, old video games are selling like crazy. People are playing more old video games than they are playing new video games. New video games are sucking.
Mhm.
Video game studios are shutting down because nobody's buying their new games. It's a state of, F around and find out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And they effed around and they
and
have
they found
found
out.
out. They found out.
Yep.
Don't
All
work.
right, Secretary of War, Bishop. Look, guys, we can debate this till the cows come home. We gave you this special rendition of the Blerds because, one, we haven't been together like this, and we've added a new member. We've got another one coming, but we haven't been together in a long time to really kind of get that out there and express that. So, from this point on, shows are only going to be 30 minutes. All right. So, just so you have a frame of reference of what we do, that's going to be the curtail of the show, but we needed this to come out as a coming out party for us all. None of us are going to give any real revelations of coming out.
Are you dropping dime on anybody?
I'm mad now.
Anything you need to say?
So, I want to thank
Look,
everyone.
Calabas, we
Look.
love you anyway, regardless of whatever your sexual orientation is.
Hey, look, I'm like Captain Kirk. Blue, green, don't matter to me. Head tentacles, I don't care. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, giving you guys a little bit something new, something fresh. Hopefully, we'll have all our members back. I know that a Paladin will be joining us, and then we're going to get into it and discuss something, that we can all sink our teeth into. But I've never been prouder of a show like the Matriarchs than this one. Even the stuff that I do is independently, but when I get together with you guys, I have a blast. And that's what this is all about. So I want to thank everybody that chimed in. I want to thank Yester Toys. I want to thank Simon. I want to thank Adam. For all of you guys watching, thank you very much. We hope the commentary wasn't too rough and too sketchy for you, but we are the Blerds. Unapologetically, this is who we are. This is our space, and we're going to use it. So, anybody else want to say anything before we go?
Did you get the check, dog?
That man, he did that on a train. Try that on a train, man. Try that on a train. All right, y'all. That's from us. We out.